Clockwork. In the Grand Duchy of AlkenStar, the creation of constructs is complicated by the intermittent interference of the nearby mana wastes. Golems and animated objects depend on lengthy magical rituals that the magic warping effects of the nearby mana wastes often disrupt. But clockwork constructs use far less magic in their creation. The clockwork device replaces magical intricacy with superb manufacturing skill, using magic only for the final acts of animating and powering the device. Skilled local creators and inventors rarely follow someone else's design, so most clockworks found in AlkenStar are custom creations with abilities designed for a specific purpose or individual needs. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the All Guns, No Glory podcast. I am your host, GM Jeff Ball, and I have a bunch of outlaws. Okay, if the current sheriff's office, as you would, the current guns of AlkenStar, right, only have a small part of corruption in it, and they've declared you outlaws because it's their jurisdiction or part of town, and everybody else goes, okay, well, we see these criminals, we'll arrest them or whatever. That's it's not a fair shake, as far as I'm concerned. And two people are responsible for you guys getting the bum's rush in your early careers. Each one of you have read the player's guide and chosen a special background that means something in the shaping of the backstory of your character. And I, at this point, even though you're in the middle of a TPK fight, I'd like to remind myself and the audience, is there some sort of get you back person that's in your backstory? Is there something to do with that drives you beyond just you're working for the Duchess, which is kind of like you've entered the spy world of the Wild West? Her handler, your handler, is the dwarf at the tavern. They've got one little robbery turned into trust issues, and now it's turned into working for the government so that this great dangerous invention doesn't fall into the wrong hands. That sounds like agency work to me, not outlaw work. So I'm curious, do you guys remember your own little backstories? Do you guys remember some of the intricate reasons of why you're here? What brought you here? Who's to blame?
Pretty sure it was all your guys' fault that dragged me through the portal. I didn't want to be here in the first place.
Yeah, you kind of fell out of the sky, didn't you?
Yeah, I have nothing to do with these people. I'm not an outlaw. I'm just here so I don't die.
When you create the character in your ancestry, you actually do create a background. Did you take one of the actual adventure backgrounds, or did you take one of the custom ones from the actual game system?
I took, inexplicably expelled. So, Stabco isn't happy with me right now.
Oh, okay. Care to elaborate on what explicitly expelled means?
So basically it means that while I'm in AlkenStar, there's a group of families that more or less have control of most of it, and they are not entirely happy whether, I don't want to give everything away, but whether I've wronged them in some way, kept them from doing something in particular. But it basically means that my face is up on little wanted posters around town.
Okay. No. Didn't want to give into the actual reasons. Like, I know that's a cool thing about Pathfinder is even the adventures, they don't give you a hard-baked backstory. They give like a big sort of suggestion paragraph going, but you could be sort of in this box this sandbox is quite large and you can play in it and write your own story in it, but you are in this box over here as opposed to this kitty litter or sandbox over here. That kind of thing. Very cool. Anyone else? We solved the mystery of our latent player. No, you guys don't even remember your own backstories?
I was hired to do a job. I had heard about the Shield Marshals before, and I thought they were a respectable bunch. I was just a lowly artisan and working in the Ferris Quarter. And I got roped in like it was a good side hustle to do some jobs for these guys. And then one of the jobs, I didn't realize they were getting me to do something very illegal, which once it was discovered that I had done this deed, it was supposed to be anonymous, they cover for me, but they threw me out to the wolves, used me as a patsy, and I was framed.
Okay. Now you're like this blue collar guy working in the artisan, right? We've expanded your story. We went back before that. What brought you here? Being a clockwork,
Oh yeah,
the war.
my ancestry.
This is my point. Where even though they give you a sandbox to work in, we've kind of led a dump truck of past. What is feeding said sandbox with Speigler's character? You know what I mean? Again, like there's. This is there is a bunch of yes and if you think about it, that they don't push you for it, but there's no rule saying you can't expand.
Well, yeah, I don't even know all of my past. It just comes to me in bursts randomly as throughout my life. Maybe something that we're doing instigates, an old memory to resurface. So
Flashback,
I'm still, because I'm so damn old that my memory card isn't large enough to really.
You've overwritten, like, new memories and skills are overriding old data.
Yeah.
Right? Though he's partitioned part of his hard drive for the gunslinging skill. Don't worry, the nat 20s will still flow. You imagine, like, as you just experience, you actually like forget crap.
Yeah.
Well, you did have a relapse. Like we cleverly.
But still, I'm technically like an organic being whose consciousness and soul or whatever has been transformed into like an energy nexus, right? So I technically don't have hardware that contains all my memories. It's still contained within that life crystal.
Yes, but an imperfect, to take a real person or the discovery of a crystal soul, if it is its own entity, does not perfectly balance when you shove it into a construct and force it to experience through those sensory perceptions, can cause flaws. Right?
Yeah. It's very bleeding edge tech that came from a long past civilization whose technology still lasts to this day.
And yet your maintenance is so it's troublesome. And again, the idea of someone playing an undead character was never really big on, but there's an entire undead nation. There's an entire undead adventure path waiting to be explored right next door, which is the country of Geb, which caused, with Next, the other country, the mana waste and everything's going on here. So enter Pylo.
Listen, man, you don't need a whole story to make yourself a whole nation of undead. Pylo here is already working on that.
Yes.
And
so instead of... Sorry, go ahead.
We're not really sure of Pyro's backstory yet. All we know is that somebody knocked over a pile of garbage in the middle of the dump, and a skeleton popped out and said, "Hey, guys, help me out."
Yep.
Kind of all he really knows about himself right now. He woke up after being under there for who knows how long.
Sort of a 51st date scenario. He just... Some things stay with you every morning. Some things you lose.
Yep.
Be interesting if your energy essence, your necro energy that's holding you're formed together has a time limit. Like you just exist for like 10 years or 100 years or whatever, and it just resets. You start like a mind wipe on a droid. I start over, But again,
Well,
it's
It's
story.
how necromancers stop the uprising from happening. Is they have that? It's like what was the one with the 4-year limit? Like a Blade Runner with the 4 years, right? The replicants only had a 4-year lifespan, so necromancers give their skeletons 10, and then that's it. You forget it all.
Start over. What about you, Drew?
Oh, as far as they know, I was a mercenary. Came in to help. And Muglin did some shady business with me. Crossed him on the street, and he decided to make an example out of me. Pinned something on me, and I had to become a mercenary. And that's as far as anybody knows.
We've hinted about a not past life, but let's say a double life, that you're leading. And you actually have another character, another campaign with a double life that we just decided to lean into. So it wasn't like, how come every time we game with Drew, it's like, oh yeah, he's this, but he's also something more, right? So we did a lot of reveal right out of the gate. The other character, this one, I've been teasing little things about your origins or your current job or who you really, really work for. So we were mid-battle, a very grim battle, if you think about it. A large, 4-square occupying, mechanically winged, giant mechanical cat, a sphinx, if you would, that we know that our target rode here on and is now sitting here without its master and has decided to bar your entrance in a very hostile way. It sits in the middle of the room, doesn't take flight, not that the ceilings are that high. It's not really using every combat advantage it could. It just seems to, whenever somebody gets close, nope, you and you and you. Now, El Manubrio has managed to get behind it, and Blaster Valentine is on its left flank, or, for you guys, your right side, while we have Charwin, Pylo, right at the front door, and then slinking off a little bit along the wall here, but not far away, still pretty much in the front. We have Mr. Stabco himself, Pip Codsworth. 1 minute kind of going it alone, next minute coming out of the shadows and helping the party like he's one of us. The top of round 3, which means we change our screen. We cue a little battle music. And then we begin. The actual Sphinx that has actually taken damage. This thing has taken hits. It is a little dented up, scratched up. Some things are cut up. I'm not saying if you can bleed, you can kill it, but if you can damage a machine, it can go down. However, how much damage we've infused on this thing? A decent amount, but it still seems very, very, very agile, very fast, very powerful, and have a lot of, shall we say, gears and guts left in it. With little L behind it, with Blaster Valentine taking shots 10 foot to the left, with Charwin dead ahead, Pylo dead ahead, and the little dude, I believe that anyone is a legit target. But I gotta say, there's something in a clockwork nature. We have a clockwork character who is a clockwork man. This is a clockwork cat. And Matt is playing a little dog thingy puppet. I'm going to say, despite his size, there's just something in me that makes him a little riper of a target. And we're going to punch Matt for not showing up tonight. So,
cat and mouse?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. With 5 of you here, I'm also going to say not just 5 for El Mambro, but he will also take the 6th position. So I'm going to roll a d6. And we'll just go with Pip being 1, counterclockwise around the board, L being 5 and 6. And of course, he goes for the mouse. He goes for the dog. So, there's the wind up. This is good because last round he was targeting Charwin. It lifts a wing and kicks out with rear claws and takes a swipe at the little swashbuckler. And with a rear claw, swings and actually misses the little guy as he nimbly tumbles and dodges out of the way. The creature, a little bit, shall we say, miffed, okay, actually uses movement to flap its big wings, become airborne, and then tilt and glide a little bit to the north and behind it. So it basically takes a, shall we say, diagonal step, but it does it by big flap and just sort of like pushing off with the legs and floats and ends up here as a second action. And then as a third action, once again, it tries to take a swipe, now this time with penalties, tries to take a swipe at our little friend. And manages to hit him for 2d12 plus 9 slashing damage. I think a certain orc, played by a certain player that's here, but in another campaign, another podcast, Monster Interrupted, would be impressed with the extra d12s rolling around. Wouldn't you?
No, not impressed.
Not impressed? Okay, well, stick around. I'm not done yet. Actually, that's 3 actions. It is done. And it, as a natural 15 on a flat roll, persistent damage that was electrical persistent damage, it succeeds. And the electrical damage ends. You guys had shocked it and threw bottles of lightning and all kinds of stuff on it, and it was taking the persistent because you guys had discovered it was vulnerable to electricity. A single point of electric actually does 11 because it has a 10 vulnerability, which now ends as it lifts off the ground and is no longer grounded, and the electricity just kind of fizzles out and then lands again. We'll say that's how I got my nat 15. Blaster Valentine, you are up. Little El Manubrio is going to go next. What do you want to do?
I probably want to...
You've taken
I'm
16
going
wounds.
to reposition to the entrance of one of these diagonal offshoot hallways in the room.
Okay.
The one that's like just south and north-south from north-south. Southwest.
Southeast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Southeast.
So skipping by the hallway that's near you that goes directly south, following the curved line of the octagonal room, tucking into a corner, a narrow hall that goes off to the southeast direction. You want to enter the hallway? Like, do you want to go in it for cover? Or do you want to stay out in the room and just be in front of it?
Yeah, I'll go in it.
Okay.
I'll take a shot. At the Sphinx.
Okay.
Come on. I hit him. 31. 6 damage.
16 points. Resist 10. As it brass and steel deflect most of the kinetic energy of the bullet. Ping. Still takes damage. Like it's still kinetic force. It still dents it or whatever, but because I'm made of frickin' steel, it seems to have somewhat of a damage resistance against this particular attack, sir. What do you do?
And then I will
Reload.
I think I want to call out or like wave my allies in my direction.
Okay.
Wave to the group. Or call out, shout. Yeah, I'll shout out.
Okay.
That there's a way through over here.
Okay. So talking's free, but if you're actually going to warn or map or anything, yeah, third action, you're basically explaining, going deeper, get out, that kind of thing. Sure. Okay. El menu brio. If Matt were here, and tell me if you all disagree, it's your party, not mine.
You may have an idea. Retreat is definitely an option, but not for me. I will cover you. Aha!
Takes a single step back from Kitty, south, but technically retreating towards. Actually, you know what?
He would definitely attempt to trip first.
At range. I have a 10-foot reach. He's gonna exploit it.
I was gonna say, can you do that with the whip?
Yep.
Whip is a reach weapon, so yeah, you get 10 feet.
Yeah, I think he's got like 15 feet, yeah. So he takes a diagonal step towards friends and back to cover, draw some aggro. And then, like you said, good call, Speigler. He wants to do his signature move, a little tiny guy tripping a great big thing. This thing is 2 sizes bigger than me. I have Titan Wrestler. He can disarm, grapple, reposition, shove, or trip a creature up to 2 sizes larger than him.
There we go.
So he can actually do it without penalties. So he gets all Skywalker with the rope on the Imperial Snorewalker, the ATT. He starts running around, wraps the one little ankle, and then doggy runs all the way around. Sure. I'm so fast, I won't even spend movement on it. It'd be funny if he actually had the movement to circle him. And wants to do the trip. As soon as I find it. Here we go. Oh, I did 2 trips. Oops. Trip. Fail. Trip. Critical fail. I'll take the first one, because I think I double tapped that. So he fails, because a crit, I would actually fall prone myself. So he tries to trip him, and let's not do, Speigler, don't call a second attack, because that'll force me to use his second actual attack, and, that's going to suck. Actually, you know what? Again. Yep. No, I think that's all in style. He tries to trip him. He moves. Tries to trip again. Ends up on his face. And then it was Charwin's turn. Pip, get ready. You're on deck. What do you want to do, Charwin?
Charwin's still pretty hurt from last time. Let's see. Do I do a level 3 spell on myself? 4. Yeah, I think I'll use a 2-action heal on myself.
All right.
Level 3 heal. For 34 health. All right, feeling pretty decent.
There you go. Full health. Everyone shove Charwin to the front while we run for it.
Actually, yeah, I think I just hit full health, barely.
You did, nice. I'm just saying,
And maybe I'll move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to the alcove just west of Blaster.
Okay.
So starting to go down a little hallway thing.
Yeah. Split up and maybe confuse. So it doesn't go after everyone. It just might go after... Split the party. What a great idea. I love it. All right. And that's you, sir?
Yep, that is me. 2 actions and then a move.
Pip Godsworth. The man, the myth, the legend. The not quite successful business, but hey, can't have it all.
Man who always tactically retreats.
Tactically retreat. You're upset that Blaster actually called for the retreat. It's like, that's my thing. It's my moment. I was waiting for that.
You'll immediately just sprint straight to Blaster. No other idea went into his head. It's like, oh, we're leaving? Perfect.
Charge.
The Pip the Brave. Away.
That is awesome. All right. Okay. So 45 is going to use a double move for you.
Yes, it is.
Whee! You have an action left.
Just check down the hallway, I guess. Perceive if there's any traps we'll be running into, anything like that.
Sure. The Throat Tower. What is ahead of us? The hallway that you are now 10 foot diagonally down goes another 10 foot diagonally, and then hooks a sharp left or goes right on the map, turning east and flattening out. There is one of those strange blue glow light gems embedded in the wall high up on the corner, and there seems to be more ambient light coming from down that hallway. At least this place is lit up a bit. How nicely convenient. I think I can show that on the, your perspective. Is that everybody? Hang on. Let's go back to just Pip. Only what Pip. If I click on your mini, if you guys click on your mini once, it shows what everybody can see. If you click on your mini twice, it shows literally the narrow line of sight that you can see from your position. And it helps you guys not to meta about like what you see or what you can shoot and that kind of thing. And I like to sometimes click on your guys or the video audience on our YouTube channel because you can watch us play as well as see the map of the minis, by the way, thanks to our wonderful Fantasy Ground sponsor. Okay, so they didn't turn around and say, hey, we want to sponsor you. We had bought all this stuff. One fine day, they started giving us books back in the day, which we continue to use to this day. Continue to call them our sponsor to this day, and continue to shake our fist at too many 20s and too many 1s. But that's fine. No campaign is perfect. Pip. 1, 2, 3. And that brings us to Sir Pilo of the Expired Effect. Holy crap, the thing just lit up.
Courageous Anthem, and that 1 turn automation now actually removes it after 1 turn. Pretty cool.
Okay.
Pilo is going to see all of his buddies running away. 5, 10, 15, 20. And I am going to run into the same hallway that my best friend Charwin is in. However, on the way by, seeing Mr. Manubrio there, I'm going to be like, can't pick you up and take you with you, so I'm going to cast Sanctuary on you, buddy. Stay safe. And I'm going to cast Sanctuary on Manubrio and then run off to, and then run into the,
is that a touch spell or a range spell?
Let me just try to see that right now. I'm pretty sure it's a range. Touch. So I can't break up my movement, can I? To like move, touch him, and then keep.
I mean, you can technically move, touch, and move more, but that. Oh, is it a 2? Is it a 2 action spell?
It's a 2 action spell, yeah.
I'll allow it. You have an open space. You have an open alley. Like you have a A to B sort of straight line. You know, you're not doing anything complicated. You know how sometimes we move, open the doors, we're going by, and you finish your 1 move.
And because of my move will actually,
yeah.
Okay, and I'll finish in the square ahead of Charwin, seeing as he's gotten some hits on him, and I would finish in his square. I'll finish
Oh
ahead
no,
of Charles.
right, because it's a touch spell. You have to do it at him. Like you have to sort of, because it's 2 actions. There's a 4-second pause of you run up to him.
Gotcha.
That's 1 action, and then you go, hang on, ominous dominus, 4 seconds, poof, you're good. And then to run away, spellcasting's a bitch. However, if you're smart about it, you could at least put yourself in the furthest away square. Like you have your choice of several squares that are adjacent to him. Just make sure you're in the square furthest away towards your destination before you stop. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll actually
so where do you want to be? Yeah.
I'll put a little dot on there. So 2 squares ahead of Charwin at the head of that doorway there.
Yep.
I will cast my spell and then I'll cast a spell on Mr. Manubrio there, and I'll be like a buffer between Charwin. He's safe, gives the monster a target. I'm full of health, so.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, I got him targeted for you.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
have it.
targeted. I will cast the spell.
Sorry to let you do that and then suddenly rip it away, but
I don't know
thinking
why.
it through, it's like,
Fail. Oh well. I don't know if that's how it applies to the
What?
creature. It made the spell roll for the creature. Oh, there. That works.
okay.
That's
weird.
what I do. I have to click the little other button. So now it's got it on there.
Okay. Weird.
that's
Yep.
good
No.
for
I'm looking at his character and it says Sanctuary Protection Against Attacks has been.
You just
added
can't
to
make
him.
any hostile actions.
Yep.
And that's it for my turn.
Yep. And you're stuck there. But if he moves, you're going to be sitting duck. Oh. All right. And now the excitement of round 4. The creature turns and reaches out and smacks Malburg once again. Closest target. Yes, it moved. And he tried to trip me. Shakes loose the little paw that's got the loose wrapping of the failed trip attempt whip around it. And swipes a big paw at the little dudes. And just as
Did he roll his will save first?
I did
He has
not.
to roll a will save.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm thinking of sorry, you're right.
Mhm.
I'm thinking this is all to do with El Nembrio. Don't attack anything. Okay, I'm going back to You get this great idea, Troy, and I'll let you down, buddy. I'm so sorry. Gonna hold that crit though if I make my
This is
will
what the
save.
monster would do. That's why I did it.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Let's roll the will save and see if you pass it. And see what happens with that guy.
All right. What is your DC, sir?
I find that on the combat screen. My will. Where's my DC here?
Not your will DC, your actual
The spell DC.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that here. I don't remember. I never remember. what
Oh,
it
is that why? Okay, so if you
18? It's 18 here because that's why the last roll rolled there. And it was rolling a fail for Manubrio attack as if he had attacked me. So it's an 18.
Okay, so if you target
Oh no, maybe it's not. He rolled an 18, sir. I don't know where is my save. What would my save
it should
number
be your SDC, your spell defense.
Where is that? Where do I find that? No, that's the one I can never find.
Okay, so
Anybody?
on your combat tab?
Combat. Yep.
Tab. Okay.
Yep.
One box up from the bottom left.
Yep.
Okay, there's a 12 and a 22.
Oh, SDC 22.
Right? Your attack is the 12. Your defense is take 10. That's why it's 22, because it's 10 plus your 12, right? So
Gotcha.
most of your spells should have a DC of 22. Hence his 18 failed. Okay.
Okay.
All right. This thing has a will of 13. So I have a decent chance.
9 or lower.
We shall see.
No.
29. Back to cat pawing our little friend. However, I will say, Troy, you do have some very, very tactically sound spells. Jack has some catching up to do. And if you'd like to see Jack prove his countermeasure spells and his combat prowess, check out Abomination our Monster Interrupted campaign, where these guys both play clerics and go head to head who's the better caster. Well, we play Abomination Vaults with a lot of this cast, and we also have Corey. Okay, so where was I? Oh yes, I was critting. I was critting the little doggy. Well now. "40 points of damage. The dude is prone, and I just stomp him. Yunk. For those of you at home wondering, El Malburg has taken 65 points of damage now and only has 19 left. He should get his ass up and run. But right now, that was attack number 1 of 3 actions. What to do? I have standing orders, and I think I'm going to do the same thing that it's programmed to do. I've pretty much laid out one little dude that's down, and then it flies to a closer position. Over here. Comes flapping down, upon you, and attacks Pilo with my second attack. Because you two are, shall we say, still fulfilling certain conditions that I believe I must fulfill. With penalties. I attack you with penalties. It is my second attack. I still hit you, Pilo, unfortunately, with a 29. And Pilo gets baffed with 13 points.
You rolled a 1 and a 3 on the dice. Still hits 13. Ouch.
Because he has +9. Yeah, he's so strong. Sensing the strange magic vibrations, which are so potent when you try to use magic, that I had to crush through to get the dog. Just easier to attack the skeleton. And also, he's still fill-in-the-blank condition. And that's me. Blaster Valentine, you are up. El Manubrio is almost down. What do you want to do, Blaster? You've had all this time.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
You guys watching a hockey game or something?
Stuff just happened. Now I'm rethinking what I was going to do.
Yeah. Okay, things change. That's true.
I see Manubrio laying on the floor and then get pinned to the ground by a paw.
Yep.
I have to help my little mechanical buddy. Can I run out?
I could literally hear Matt's voice in my head going, "No, you go. My sacrifice should not be in vain." Which of course means we got to help him now.
Am I able to run up to Manubrio, grab him, and then run back to the hallway with him?
Sure. That's 3 actions. I mean, you might, if this thing has reactive strike, you will provoke as you enter and cross through and leave. Sorry, not enter, but if you're running around inside of his reach.
So if I go to the diagonal square to Manubrio on the east side of him,
I would technically... That's 15. You would not be... Oh, look at that. Look at you learning grid patterns in combat. So proud of you. Yes, racing forward 10 feet and technically being diagonal to El Manubrio and diagonal to the creature. Oh, look, you're flanking El Manubrio. The overwhelming urge to kick him while he's down because you're just flanking with something is something, but we'll we'll save. No, never mind. You run up, you snatch him, and you run away. Because Valentine has the ability to carry smaller creatures than himself. Anyway, what do you want to do? So you're just holding him. Oh, what's in your hands? A sword and a gun. You need to do something about that. Drop the sword here, then run. You can drop the sword for free and come back to it. You drop the gun, that would make me very happy too.
Well, the gun's technically yeah, I'll just drop the sword.
Okay, drop the sword, grab the friend, come back. Okay. So I'm literally going to put his mini on top of yours for now because you've ended your turn holding him. Unless you want to dump him for free in front of you.
Yeah, I'll dump him like in between me and Pip.
Unfortunately, there is not enough space.
For his little body? He's so tiny.
He'd be squeezing. I have to leave him in an open square. Even if I had half a square, which unfortunately I do not, I would be kind. Now, you could race back not quite to the sword and dump him in the space with the sword. I mean, he would still be prone and you would be out on the end of the hallway. You don't have to go all the way back. He would be safe like this. How's that grab you?
Yeah. And he's not prone anymore, right?
No, he's prone. Because you have to drop him for free. You don't have an action to put him upright. You scooped him up prone. You ran to him, one action. You shoveled him up really quick in one hand, right? And then you run back. So you're either holding on to him, and we keep going with the rounds, or you put him down, which is kind of like dump for free.
Oh, okay. I'll stay holding on to him then.
Okay. Then I will bring you back into safety. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Which brings us to me. Well, little dude is going to wrestle free from your grasp. I will, if you do not resist, I still need to spend the action to cue you, but if you don't resist, I don't need to make a roll, but I do need to spend the action. Let me go. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. He begins to attempt the acrobatics. You just drop him, right? Yes.
I give him a little kiss and then I let him go.
It's so cute. I will do an acrobatics check to land on my feet. Try to get free from you. Oh, you let me go for free. That's great. But I do acrobatics. Land on my feet and scamper away. Natural 20. Olé! And as long as I'm continuing my actions consecutively and run, I can actually end up in front of you or behind you. And since it seems the consensus is retreat, he will go out ahead and probably peek around a corner. Scout ahead. Any objections? No? We think that's what he would do? Hey, I love putting your most wounded character out into the next room where there's more danger. I got no problem with that. Sorry, Matt, we're role-playing you just the way you would. All right. But I'll leave him there. He'll jump out, he'll run, and then he'll perceive. Done. Charwin is the only one left alive. Because your friends technically never really lived. Pip has had a sham of a life. The other ones are not actually living creatures. But Charwin. Oh, sorry, phrasing. Charwin, what... Look at Jack's face. He's holding up his hands like, what the hell, dude?
What'd I do tonight? That's what I saw in his face.
I'm just bullied here all the time.
Okay, so let's go back in time when I personally asked Jack to join the show. And Jack put forth the idea for 3 characters. And I said, oh, these 2 are really cool. He put one in one show, one in another. Got halfway through his backstory and said, what do you think, GM Jeff? And if GM Jeff helps you craft some of your character, then you are subject to my... you are subject to my bullying. Anyway. Darwin, what do you want to do?
Let's see. This tunnel is...
I'm sorry, Drew. I have to answer Zeke in chat. Yes, Jack is my barber. While he cuts my hair, we talk about Pathfinder and shit. I found out he's a GM in his own right that plays Pathfinder, and I talked to him for about a year about my game, and then finally asked him if he wanted to do an audition, which he passed, and here he is.
I just see
recruit real people.
Newman from like Seinfeld. When you control the hair, you control power.
Jack watched a lot of Seinfeld. Look at this, he's face palming. No, he's crying into his open palm. Because you're so right. Look at his face. Watch a lot of Seinfeld, do you there, Pip? I'm sorry, Drew. Please continue.
No problem. Let's see. I will yell to the others. This hallway looks to be 70-ish feet long. And then I will go down the hallway. 5, 10, 15, 20 for good measure.
Okay.
And then I want to take my backpack off and start to rummage for stuff.
Okay. What are you pulling out of your pack?
I am planning on pulling out some ammo and my dueling pistol.
Okay. Switch it up. So you rummage, an action, and then you can swap weapons and stuff. And sure. That's actually, you don't carry your dueling pistol like on your belt, or you can just one action switch it.
Not usually, because I don't want anybody to see it.
Okay.
And then I do have some special ammo that I also have hidden that I'd like to pull out.
All right. So 2 items, 1 action to rummage to pull them both. Fortunately, you're still armed. So if you want to, like, this stuff is like in your armpit under your, you know what I mean? Like when we come back to you, you're still armed with your spear, which you need to swap out or said pistol and use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Still
What you're
another.
proposing I'm being
Still
kindly,
another
but,
action.
Yeah. Owed.
And because I'm pulling out special ammo, I would expect that to take another action to replace ammo in the gun.
I'm cool with you not being in combat and using a single action to remove items, because you can remove a box that has a gun and ammo in it, or a wrapped, you know what I mean? If you keep them together, because they're a parcel and not a weapon on your belt, you can parcel items together and go, I pull out my little, hobo handkerchief bag. It's got a gun and ammo in it. Okay, it's out. What do you want to do? Well, I'm going to swap my spear for the gun, and now I'm going to reload my gun, Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, there'll be unfortunate actions for you down the road. Anyway, okay. And that's you, sir. Pip. What do you do?
Emanubrio, get back here. Where are you going?
I'm scouting ahead. Hey, while you're behind me, could I trouble you to ... You know the line. Twitch chat has been, edging me on to say the line, but I can't say the line because only Matt can say the line. I'm not going to say the line. All right.
Pip will bravely scout ahead.
There you go.
What do I see?
You enter the top end of a massive room. Once a worship chamber of some kind, this hall has been thoroughly looted and vandalized. Though debris covers the chamber, there is no furniture, save for the remarkably unscathed sarcophagus on the altar at the southern end of the room in the shadowy blue light, because this place is lit. So imagine a rectangle room, vertical. He steps into a 15-foot wide, 20-foot tall, vertical empty chamber with some light in the corner. If he heads straight across the chamber, there's another hallway exiting. Below this chamber, the walls expand, and you have another giant rectangular room with columns and a sarcophagus down the bottom and 4 points of light. This room is 25 feet across and 10, 20, 30, 45 feet deep. So Pip wanders in, can you imagine, you just wander straight ahead going, it's fine. And then you look to your right and see this massive room with a sarcophagus. If anyone's going to have a Scooby-Doo moment, man, it's got to be you.
Ghost?
I just love this character so much. I know. Anyway, that's one action, right? How far did you go?
My full 25 feet.
Okay, and then
we will do a perception check to see if anyone's hiding behind those pillars from here, because Pip's not going anywhere near that sarcophagus.
Okay. The lid pops up. Quick, in here, it's safe.
I'm Manubrio. How'd you get in there?
I'm not El Nubrio. I'm El Vampirio. Blah. Okay. A cursory scan of the room, solid floors, no obvious traps, no obvious creature? Is there an obvious creature that he might awaken at this time? At this time?
Because you were
or here.
Because you are sassing me and I don't trust you anymore, I do have visual fidelity, which lets me see invisible creatures with a flat D3 or flat 3 because they have a concealment check.
Right,
DC
but not
3.
creatures that are hidden. Like if I'm behind
hidden
something,
is a DC 9.
What about inside something? Like, what if there's something inside the sarcophagus?
I have to see them. Yes, there's.
That's what I'm saying. Like to say, or what if there's another? Like, what if I'm around the corner, right? So,
well, it's like if their hands poking out invisible creatures.
All right. Well, your check stands, dude. You don't seem to find a.
And then I will, because El Manubrio seems to be acting out of sorts. El Manubrio, do not go near the sarcophagus, and I will end my turn.
Okay. His voice echoes around the chamber, waking up whatever might lurk, thank you. As he lectures our friend. Hey, just to think that he's a halfling and automatically stealthy, it's very prejudiced and stereotypical and, putting Pip in a box that we don't need to put him in. Sir, Pilo Jesus, you are still in the desert. You are still sure that you're in the jurisdictions of the queen that you helped. So, Sir Pilo, what do you do?
Well, for one, I'm not going to take Sir off even if we leave the desert. That's Dan. Otherwise,
I can't wait to get back to town demanding to people, do you know who I am?
That's pretty much how it's going to be.
That's awesome.
I see my buddy Charwin down the hallway there. I'm going to run down the hallway here to be with him and be like, Charwin, I'm coming with you, buddy. Provide you some cover. Maybe, hopefully nothing comes to get us.
Okay.
I guess it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 25 to put you right in front of them.
Okay.
With one action, right?
I'm here, buddy. Beyond Charwin, 15 feet from your position, the hallway becomes a T intersection where you can actually jute back to the west, the direction you entered. Perhaps into a side hallway stall chamber. And, because of the light provided, substantially little lights everywhere. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm actually going to move then. What I'll do is I'll give Charwin a clear shot down the hallway. Because did we say he pulled out a gun on his last one? Did I see like a gun in his hands or something there?
Right. So he's rummaged into his pack and he's pulled out a package and he's opening it up and there's a gun and ammo that he's dicking around with while he's got a spear under his shoulder and he's,
Sorry. So seeing that as well, I'm going to actually move 5, 10, 15, 20 feet past him back here to just a foot past that hallway door. That way it gives him a place to run into if he needs it as well. And that's the second action.
Want to peek into the rooms?
Third, what's that?
Perception. You can always, now that you have like multiple egress, like there's a hall to look down with a room, you just
I'll do a perception to see if there's anything I can see that's kind of helpful here.
In the tower, if you please.
In the tower,
it's not just here. Not just, also taking a minute to listen, right?
There it is there. Yeah. Here, if I hear anything coming from these hallways or anything at all,
you do. You actually do hear the echoing, high-pitched, El Manubrio, do not go near the sarcophagus. Comes bellowing up the hallway from the way you came. Sarcophagus. Okay. Definite emphasis on do not and sarcophagus. Guess what your friends are doing? Well, hey, Troy is the first guy I would say would never meta information his character doesn't have. So thank you, Jack, for giving us the information we need. All the information we need.
And that's all I can do for me.
Okay.
I'm going to assume this creature can't get down this hallway.
Hey, yeah, what if I'm like some kind of Decepticon or, Transformers? Big cat in disguise. It turns into an exact duplicate of Valentine and insists it's him. The only problem is you see it fold up. Like, we know it's the cat. Full of shit, but damn it. Anyway. Okay, Sir Bilo. 1, 2, 3, that's you. Down the hallway. He's quiet. And up in the room, it's also pretty quiet. And then you hear the halfling from back the other way. Don't do it. And now, round 5. I am at rest. I have a perception, whether I'm sleeping or in sleep mode, but someone's going to yell or even quietly stage whisper enough to be heard 20 feet away in an echoey, quiet, abandoned cradle of quartz chamber. Pretty sure even if I add 10, 20 to the DC, I might become aware. Something becomes aware. And a tentacle creeps out from the sarcophagus and wraps like an appendage over the lid and then pulls it back with a scraping noise of stone on stone.
I've made a mistake.
One to perceive, one to open a door. Oh, wow. And then you realize that the sarcophagus isn't opening a lid. The scraping noise that you can hear, like you see like a tentacle wiggling out the front of the sarcophagus, and then you hear the scraping noise and you're like, okay, it's opening the lid, right? No, the entire sarcophagus itself sprouts mechanical tentacles and pushes itself up like Spider-Man's nemesis, a certain professor, Doc Ock, as mechanical tentacles spring from its sides and it ends where its feet are supposed to be, and it stands up and turns and looks around the room and perceives once more. Hello. Do you see this?
Yes, in all of its unholy glory, I see the thing.
It looks like Anubis, the Egyptian god of death. It is the jackal-headed, carved bronze stone, decorated with red and blue vestiges, folded arms, pointed ears, and the whole thing is a sarcophagus in the shape of this. It's supposed to be a big box. The fact that, tell me that's not Doc Ock with the sort of flat-ended, pincing, opposite end, tentacles that pop out of its shoulder, even though the carved arms are folded at the grave rest position, and out of the bottom of it as this thing pops up. Isn't that awesome? But wait, there's more. The clockwork sphinx comes over to the center of the room and sits down. Boom. Back haunches, folds its wings, and just sits there looking at you, Valentine, as you stand just outside of the room. It lifts a paw to its mouth and instead of a tongue, a jet of oil just kind of comes gushing out in a thin stream all over the gears as it just sort of flexes its claws and oils its appendage. Instead of licking, get it? It just sprays oil on itself and clunk. And sits down there facing you guys, and that's what it does. I would stop combat, but a new challenger has entered on top of, so we're just gonna keep going. Blaster, what do you do?
I pick up my sword.
Mm-hmm.
And I slowly, without turning my back to the Sphinx, back up to Manubrio.
Okay.
And past him.
Okay. 5, 10. This one counts as 10, so that's 20. 25 puts you on.
Oh, I'm also reloading while I move.
Sure. You come upon Pip, mid-gack. You know, he's just staring into the room and his eyes get wider and you see the head tilt up like he's looking at something getting up that's big. What the hell? Free! No perception. The dude's a very animate little guy. Holy shit. Anyway, 25 puts you on the edge of the room. What you can actually see of the creature is nada. Because
so I moved, I picked up the sword. That's 2 actions, right?
Yep, you get one more. Now you can lean into the room. If you want to just lean around the corner and see what's going on, sure. Perception, because you're not leaving your square. You're just kind of, posted on a corner.
Yeah.
You can lean out and perceive into the room, sure. Oh, crap. There it is. But didn't move out of your square. And that's you. You take in the room. Take stock of the... Oh, that's not right. Ooh, look. Upgraded model. You are not the coolest clockwork thing in this campaign. There's a freaking Sphinx, a walking sarcophagus. Like, what is this? How insulting is this, man? You were like the coolest thing out there, and now...
I need 2 actions to, hold... to do, a reactionary action. Right?
Well, you've picked up the sword, you've moved, and now you're asking for the proverbial perception action. So as you peek out, that's your third action, because you take in the whole room. Top, bottom, columns, hidden things. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
That wasn't a freebie, because sure, you see the thing, it looks obvious, but those 2 seconds are you taking an entire sweep of the room. Everything you hear, everything you see, everything you scent. Oh, the spore is falling down from the ceiling on top of Pip that he didn't notice. Or the blah, blah, blah. So give me a perception of the tower. You never know. Besides the creature that has awakened, the clockwork terror, you believe it is the only imminent threat in the room at this time. Which brings us to El Manubrio, who says, "My friends, our time is up, and we will see you all next time."